Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. I'm glad to hear this morning. We have a great show lined up, but first, our weather brought to us by Haney Technical Center at the corner of Baldwin and Highway 77. Today's going to get up to 66 and a low of 51, but look, this rain, we had a little bit of yesterday, but this weekend, they're calling for rain this weekend. I talked to some, I didn't talk to them, I just listened to several meteorologists on their reports and all, looked on the National Weather Service, and they're calling for some rain this weekend, and us outdoorsmen don't like that weekend rain, so we'll just have to work around it. But we'll get more of a report on it tomorrow for sure. Water temperature is going up now to 57.6. It's right at 58 degrees. Like I said yesterday, that's a 5-degree jump in about 2 weeks. That is a good sign for the Gulf water temperature. Take a look at our river readings brought to us by Sandhill Seafood up on Highway 77. Good fresh seafood up there. Just make sure you get up there and get some good stuff up there if you enjoy the seafood. Look at that place called Bluntstown looking on the screen. It's right at 9 foot. It's staying up pretty high now. It's going to drop maybe a half a foot for the weekend, and not a lot of movement in it, so it's going to be a lot higher than it has been. To me now, that 6 foot level is really healthy, so that's a good situation there. The Choctahatchee at Caryville, it's a little bit low today, but it's right at 6 foot, but it's going to be jumping up Saturday morning, going to start going up. You're going to have rising water if you're going to fish at Choctahatchee this weekend. Take a look at our tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn. We have a low tide at 2 o'clock this morning, high actually at 9. Actually, I'm sorry, it's at 3:30, and it's getting a little bit, that afternoon tide now is in the middle of the afternoon, whereas about a couple of weeks ago it's late, right at dark. So got a little bit of change coming on with our tides. Okay, let's take our marine forecast is going to be straight out northeast, still at 10 to 15. So it's been blowing all week long. We'll take a break and come back with our special guest. Welcome back, and welcome to our special guest, Paul Wintermen. Hey, Paul.
Coach.
Good to have you, buddy.
Good to be here.
We go way, way back to the early days in the 70s at Mosley High School, and Paul came out of football, but he loved swimming more, and turned out to be a great swimmer.
Yes, sir.
What all you enjoyed? What was your event in swimming?
100 freestyle was my main event.
That's the best one. You just take off and swim fast as you could. Huh?
Yep, sprinter.
But good athlete and good student and went on. So tell us a little bit about your background and what leads you up to today. What's all going on now?
Well, I started after high school with the police department. Became an investigator, specialized in homicide, and was on the SWAT team. Was second in charge of that for years. Retired and started pursuing photography.
Now you say it's tough on me when I talk to my former students or players and they tell me they retired. That don't seem right. I know you were the sheriff's office or
Panama City Police Department.
City Police Department.
City Police Department, yes, sir.
And I know we were just talking about this too as we're coming on air. For law enforcement, that blue line has been so special and generation after generation and all. But times have really changed, haven't they?
Yes, they sure have.
And we're very supportive of law enforcement. I've had a couple of sheriffs on here before, and it's always good to see. Now, you also a pretty good outdoorsman. Let's tell folks what you're doing outdoors.
Well, I've been archery hunting since I was 13, and I strictly archery hunt, and me and my wife travel the country and go to different states. And
this is fascinating how you started. Really, you've been archery hunting a long time. Really, before it became sort of popular. I mean, you were archery hunting in the early days.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you were
back in the 70s.
Bow hunting in the 70s. Not that many people doing it then. So you were doing it young, and then. So what are some of the first areas you hunted, and then tell us about where you ended up. This is cool.
Well, started out hunting in Florida. Mm-hmm. Then when I started traveling a little bit, I started going to Colorado elk hunting, public land hunting there. I've killed 7 elk, and then.
Wait, let's stop right now. He killed 7 elk now with a bow.
With a bow, public land.
Okay, on public land. If you don't think that's something, I mean, you just look around and talk to people who've been in there elk hunting. That's special. I'll keep going.
Well, then we started going to Georgia. I actually killed the largest buck killed in Dawson Forest, Dawson County, Georgia. And then started going to Indiana. Now me and my wife spent 4 months in Kentucky archery hunting. 3 different management areas.
Just public land.
Public land, yep.
And this is fascinating, and I know, for one thing, the little bit of bow hunting I've done, I was bow hunting some in the 70s, and then I had to keep working and all, but I just know the patience it takes. But you got to get so much closer. And I think that may be how your photography evolved into.
Actually, it is. I got into the photography because I was archery hunting in Colorado, and just seeing the scenery, and I had a big black bear walk up on me, and wished I'd had a camera.
Yeah.
And after I retired, I bought equipment and actually took off and spent 3 months in Colorado, Wyoming, Montana, just backpacking in the mountains.
This is cool. And but your recent hunting now, this past season you were in Kentucky?
Kentucky, yes.
And how'd you do this season?
I killed 3 does. My wife killed 6. I was on a 200-inch deer, so I passed on some 150-inch, 140-inch. I actually saw more bucks this year than I think I've ever seen.
No kidding.
Yeah.
We're going to get some hunting tips from Paul a little bit later, but make sure you understand when he said he passed on some 150s, that's close to the Florida state record right there, the 164. So he passed on those because you had that big one pretty close that you just couldn't get.
Yeah. You know, hunting Illinois and Kentucky, every year I'll kill a 140, 150-inch deer, and then I'm tagged out, I'll be doe hunting and have 180 to 200-inch deer walk underneath them.
Right.
So now, that's my goal, is to kill a 200-inch deer. So I'm passing on everything but that.
That is cool. That's a great goal. We're going to take a break, and we're going to come back and show you some of Paul's amazing outdoor photographs. And we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back, folks. Sitting here with Paul Wintermen, outdoorsman extraordinaire, and on top of that, a wildlife photographer. And tell us again what got you into wildlife photography?
Archery hunting in Colorado.
Yeah, and just the beauty of it, I guess.
Yeah.
And you were able to capture it. Now we're gonna, and I've followed him over the years, and I've been to a couple of different shows. I know one out there at Crooked River Camps, and then you had one at Union Museum or whatever over the years and all.
Yes.
And you marketed but I asked him last night or a couple of days ago to send me just some of his pictures, anything in outdoors. So here we go. Let's start off with this one right here because it reminds me of some people I know. Tell me about this picture.
That is at Crooked Island.
Okay.
To me, everything's a photo opportunity, so it's kind of rare to get an opportunity to get that close to one of the crabs because they have a tendency to run. But to get that shot, I'm laying down on the ground and spend hours following it around.
And that's what a lot of us just don't understand, the contortion you go through and how long you got to sit there and all. But that's just a great shot. And on all these pictures that show, you've seen them on TV, but the clarity and the focus of them and the time, and that's what you appreciate in true upper level photography. Okay, what about this one?
That is at Smoky Mountains.
Okay.
Me and my wife followed Mama and 3 baby bears around for, I think it was 3 days in a row.
Wow.
We followed them for probably 2-3 hours at a time.
Yeah. Man, that's got to be just a thrill in itself, just following them around.
It is.
And here's another picture of them, and they look like they paid attention, don't they?
Actually, there was a storm coming through, and lightning cracked, and they all looked same direction.
That's what it was then,
yeah.
To get them looking that way. I thought you were talking to them or something, or maybe singing. Okay, now this reminds me of some people too, but this is a great picture.
That is in Ocala, Florida, on the Silver River.
Okay.
They've got a lot of monkeys there. I guess they did the Tarzan movies there years and years ago.
Okay.
And they escaped, and they're wild all over the river.
I did not know that. So these are wild here in Florida?
Yes.
No kidding.
Yeah.
How'd you get that close to them?
Kayaking.
Really?
We kayaked down the river, and there's actually hundreds of them around.
That is cool, Paul. I didn't know. I assumed that was at a zoo, but that's in the wild.
No, that's in the wild.
Cool. Oh, I love this one.
Smoky Mountains again. We usually go during the rut and spend 2 to 3 weeks from daylight to dark chasing the deer.
I looked at it, of course, as a hunter, you look all around, you look at those horns, and you see their drop tine, And that's fascinating, isn't it?
Yes, it is. I like the drop tine bucks.
How old do you think that particular buck is, just looking at him? You've been around deer a lot. That's full grown, full?
Pretty mature, probably 4.5 years.
I was gonna guess 5, so we would have been pretty close. Great picture there. Okay.
That is in Colorado, in Rocky Mountain National Park.
Wow. That you can get that close to them?
Yeah, and again, it's during the rut, so they're bugling and chasing the cows around.
And I bet those sounds and all or something, aren't they?
Oh yeah.
When they bugle like that, I've never heard it, but people have said it's just amazing. Oh, this is cool here. That boat out there. So, tell us how you took this one.
Well, that's at St. Andrew State Park.
Okay.
I do a lot of scenic. I like the scenic almost as much as chasing the wildlife.
Yeah. You know
sunset.
Well, what strikes me about this, I know you got the sunset in and boat and all that, but when the waves were coming in, those little streams of foam and all, it's just a little pattern in them and all.
Yeah.
Just little things like that, it makes you appreciate it. And we don't have very many wooden piers left.
No.
You know, so
everything's going to concrete.
Yeah, these will be obsolete one day. So great to have a picture of that. Okay.
That was this summer at Pictured Rocks, northern Michigan.
Oh man, that is pretty. Did you do any fishing up in Michigan?
I have a little bit, but not that often.
I've been a time or two. Those people up there love to fish.
Oh yeah.
All right, this is beautiful.
That is Montana. That's probably one of the prettiest places I've ever been. Glacier National Park.
Yes.
We were basically hiking probably 20 to 30 miles a day.
How far?
20 to 30 miles.
That's a long way.
We do hikes, and there's so much wildlife up there. I mean, bighorn sheep, moose, mountain goats.
Yeah.
So it's interesting the whole time you're hiking.
Well, that is cool. Now this is a classic. It's got to be one of your signature photographs here.
Yeah, that's probably one of my best deer pictures.
Tell us about this one.
Well, you know, it's again Smoky Mountains.
Okay.
Daylight to dark, and you know we're watching does being chased, and pretty much try to get set up where the does are going. I got 21 different bucks jumping fences this last year.
No kidding.
Yeah, but it's a lot of fun. I mean, it's.
You know, I always look at something like, as a coach, and as a track coach, I coach high jump and all. I always think about the vertical, how they get so vertical and all with that big of a body. How do they do that?
Very easily, actually.
You see it a lot, though, don't you?
Oh yeah, yeah. It's amazing how high they can jump.
And you know, and then your timing on that is so good. And how do they know to hold those legs back and all of that, and the front legs, and you know, just it's animal instinct. When was this taken? Was it in fall? And like I said,
actually, 1st of December.
So when's the rut up there in the Smoky Mountains?
Last November, 1st of December.
That's interesting and all.
We usually go the 1st or 2nd week in December, and they're pretty much in full rut then.
That's cool. And here he is. In fact, he drove up same. I saw him on the road this morning. If you see him driving around town and all, and you see this, I've seen you before and all, blew the horn at you to get you to slow down and all, but you kept on going. But anyway, this is Paul's vehicle and all. We're going to talk about how, and you distribute your photographs too, and you. Right?
Yeah, I've got them for sale in several locations. Not in Panama City, but we also have a website, paulwinterman.com.
paulwinterman.com.
That they're for sale on.
We'll see if we can get that to you and all. Tell us about your equipment.
Well, I shoot Nikon, obviously.
Okay, yeah, there you go.
Purchased a D4, which was about $6,500 just for the camera body.
Wow.
But it's a phenomenal camera. I mean, it's 12 frames per second. So when I got probably 7 different shots of that one buck coming over the fence all the way over.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, you just hold it down and it fires. And also low light situations, you can just about shoot in the dark with it. So it's a very, very good camera. And I just purchased a 2 to 500 millimeter Nikon. You have to have the big lens for the wildlife.
Yeah. Tripod and all that. I mean, do you hand hold everything, or?
I used to shoot strictly off a tripod. I do for my scenic stuff. Now, because trying to get set up, you end up missing a lot of stuff, and the lens has got vibration reduction on it.
Oh, cool.
So you can actually hand hold and get really, really good shots.
The technology and everything, but in photography also, you don't think about that, the reduction in the vibration.
Yeah, it's come a long way. Because when I started out, it was strictly, I was shooting slide film, and you know, you take a trip out west, and I shoot for 3 months, and you have no idea what you got when you come back.
Yeah.
And then you had the expense of getting the slides processed and then trying to pick out pictures. You know, it's pretty much with digital is self-gratification. I mean, you can pull it up on a computer right in the field, actually.
Yeah, that's cool. All right, we're going to take our final break. Right back with Paul.
Okay.
Okay, welcome back. Glad you're with us this morning. Here with Paul Wintermen, like I said, an outdoorsman and a great wildlife photographer. And how many elk did you get out there?
I've taken 7.
7 elk with a bow, and that's pretty doggone good. Let's take a look at our fishing game time today, brought to us by Blue Water Outriggers down in Port St. Joe. Our times this morning, 6:21 to 8:21, and this evening, 6:45 to 8:45. And quickly, we got to add some names because we got a lot of people entered. Mark Stafford, I talked to Mark on the phone the other day. Mark Stafford, Callaway. Joe Davis, Southport. Roger Davis, Deer Point. Bob Painter down at Indian Pass. Michael Singleton, Sandhills. Okay, that's a blank there. Cindy Singleton, Sandhills. Mary Lee Singleton, the Sandhills. Chris Carroll up there in Prosperity in northern Walton County. Pam Carroll, Prosperity. And Caitlin Carroll, same family, the Carroll family up there. Marty Crumknocker down at St. Joe Buffer Preserve. Deb and Bobby Reese at Indian Pass. So got folks all over. So anyway, let's get back with Paul now. We're talking about different things you do in photography and all. What are some just tips you can give a basic beginner in outdoor photography if they just want to go out and take some good pictures and they got a decent camera? I know patience, but what else could you tell them?
Lighting.
Okay, what would you tell them about it?
Either have the sun off to the side or behind you. If you shoot into the sun, it's no good. And also angle. You know, a lot of times even with the deer, I'm laying down on the ground to get the shot. So angle makes a lot of difference.
The angle.
Yes.
Okay, that's a good point there too, because you see some great, like that crab shot you had a while ago. I mean, you're down there with it. And also, people have hired you. Some lodges have hired you to take pictures. Tell us about some of that stuff.
Well, I shot pictures for Deer Creek Lodge in Kentucky. When we're traveling, actually we're known as the Nikon Man now.
The Nikon Man, there he goes.
When we were in Kentucky, we'd stop somewhere and we'd have people approach us, hey, you're the Nikon Man, which was kind of interesting. So we're kind of running with that theme, the Nikon Man.
What are some, I know you're an award-winning photographer, what are some of the awards or some of your best pictures and all? What do you?
Well, I've taken Best of Show in Faces and Facets. I had a picture that made, actually 2 pictures made National Geographic.
That's strong.
And one of them was Editor's Choice also. It was a rainbow trout I caught jumping in midair.
Oh, man.
And I've won Faces and Facets numerous times in the animal division. I think 9 times now.
Wow.
So I've tried to do a lot of competitions.
Yeah. How can people, are you going to have anything around this area anytime soon coming up? Do you know? Or
we're talking about trying to do a show. I'm not sure where at yet.
Okay, well, let us know and we'll talk about it and give some publicity and get some folks out there to see some of these shots and all. And I know you got your partner, your wife, is a good companion as far as doing everything with you.
Yeah.
That means a lot, don't it?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Just that support and all. Okay, as an outdoorsman in general, what kind of advice would you give hunters and all?
Well, the main thing with deer hunting is the wind.
There you go.
I mean, if you can beat their noses, then you're pretty much golden.
Do you try to hunt the rut a lot in different places or not?
Yes, I love hunting rut.
Yeah.
I like early season hunting too. This year we were there 2 weeks before the season started and just glass fields and tried to get stands set up. And
Do you get, when you're back in the Smokies or out there in the Rockies, whatever, do you do any kind of backpacking and camp overnight, or you mainly staying in the lodges areas and taking day hikes?
We were tent camping the whole time.
No kidding.
Now, when I was hunting in Colorado, I'd backpack in for a month and just kind of live off the land.
No kidding.
Actually, the last 4 or 5 years that I went, I didn't even take food. I just archery hunted and survived. Yeah, it was fun.
Well, tell me what kind of food you found. What kind of food you get? Rabbits?
Rabbits, mule deer.
Yeah. Now, this is a true outdoorsman we're talking to this morning, folks. I mean, he didn't run down to the junior store and grab a can of Bahinos. What did you do about water and all? You around some water sources?
There's a lot of streams up there, and carry the water purifying tablets.
Yeah.
Doesn't taste real good, but
it's clean.
It's clean.
It's clean. Well, Paul, we got there's some great pictures now. We got some pictures on the screen up here that Jeff is showing you, but they can get some of your pictures from paulwinterman.com.
Yes.
Okay. And we definitely want you to come back on. You've come a long way since the Mosley days. And
Yeah.
You've been very successful, and we appreciate it, and I appreciate your service as law enforcement too.
Yeah, thank you.
And I know you worked around some good people and good lawmen.
Yeah.
And I remember when you retired, and I said, goodness gracious, I'm still working, and Paul's retired. What's wrong with this picture? But now we're both retired. So anyway, glad to have you on, and best
Thanks
of luck.
for having me.
And now y'all see that vehicle around town and all, y'all blow the horn at you and all. But,
Absolutely.
In closing and all, again, if you had to pick out a couple of favorite pictures, what would they be?
The buck jumping the fence, probably one of my favorite.
Man, that's fascinating. And you doing a lot of scenes in the wildlife now, as far as lakes and mountains and rivers and all?
Oh yeah, I do a lot of scenic. I got a completely different camera setup for the scenic stuff than from the wildlife.
Well, good luck. Stay in touch, and when you have that show or something, let me know. We'll let the folks know about it too.
Okay. Thank you, Coach.
All right, buddy. All right, folks, I always appreciate you watching Panhandle Outdoors. We have somebody on interesting all the time. These are real people doing real things. So thanks to Paul Wintermen. Thank you all for watching. Do something good today for your fellow man. Enjoy the great outdoors, and God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.